I've been here when tax cuts for the wealthiest Americans were expiring, and I've seen the Senate stay here till 2 o'clock in the morning to make sure those tax cuts were extended. In this case, we turned our back on America's children.
Yesterday was one of the saddest and frustrating days in my time in the Congress. To learn that the United States had the largest increase in child poverty.
This moral obscenity of the richest nation in the world having the highest poverty rates is not an accident. It's not destiny. It's not inevitability. It is people in this institution making a policy choice.
Extend those tax credits for corporations and let them run out for kids. Following the expansion of the child tax credit back in 2021, we saw child poverty in this country fall to its lowest point ever. But that program was allowed to expire, and millions of families lost a financial lifeline just as inflation was surging. And what happened? The child poverty rate more than doubled to 12.4%. Joining me now, Democratic Senator Michael Bennet of Colorado. Senator, you knew I was going to invite you on to talk about this. How did we get here?
Well, Stephanie, we got here because we turned our back on America's kids. We enacted a policy that cut childhood poverty in half, which is what the proponents of this bill, including myself, said it would. A lot of people said it wouldn't, but it did. Cut it in half. Families got the checks every month, and they were able to pay for a little bit of, extra food or buy some school clothes for their kids, or not have to make such a stressful decision about affording rent or paying for, health care or after school stuff. I mean, they spent their money on kids, and the richest country in the world cut childhood poverty in half. Now we've seen it double, in effect, because we did not extend the child tax credit. My goal is to end childhood poverty in this country. I think that should be a goal for the richest country in the world. We now know how to do it, and we've got to fight to make this child tax credit, the enhanced child tax credit, permanent.
Or those parents weren't buying extra food. They were buying the same amount, dealing with the fact that we're facing inflation and everything costs more. I want you to fact check something for us, because there are some critics who anecdotally like to say that this expansion, this money is going to get used for the wrong places. But none of them show the data to back that argument up. What can you tell us about the truth?
The data shows us that the vast majority of people are working. Before I was in the Senate, I was the superintendent of the Denver Public Schools. Most of the kids in that district were kids of color. Most of the kids lived in poverty, and their families were working 2 and 3 jobs. There's no more egregious and painful myth in this country than the idea that poor people aren't working. They're killing themselves, but they're working in an economy where no matter how hard they work, they haven't been able to lift their kids out of poverty. You know what that's about. You've looked at this. You've studied it. We have some of the least, the lowest economic mobility rates of any country in the industrialized world. And the child tax credit was a way of mitigating that and lifting stress, Stephanie, which is what I heard from mostly moms, which was the stress that came off their families because they didn't have to make these death-defying choices at the end of every month. Obviously, Stephanie, what we need in this country, again, is an economy that when it grows for everybody, not just the people at the very top. Working people in the middle class in America know if they work hard, they'll be able to, their kids will be able to get ahead. I think that's the key to saving our democracy. I think that's the key not to having Donald Trump here again. And in the meantime, we could pass some federal policy that's the opposite of the Trump tax cuts for the wealthy, a tax cut for working people, and cut childhood poverty in half on the way to eliminating it.
You talk about poor families that are working their tails off. One of the problems they're facing is child care. We know that child care is so expensive in this country, and it's actually going to get worse. Right now, 1 in 3 child care centers could be facing closure imminently. How in the world are families supposed to handle this?
This is another case, Stephanie, where unfortunately our country does not provide the same level of benefits that other countries in the Western world do, and our kids are paying a heavy price for that. I mean, the idea, there's some people who said, well, look, you know, $300 a month per kid, somehow that's going to dissuade people from working. These people must not understand how much child care costs, you know, and what people in Colorado was doing, they were eking out an extra hour of child care they were paying for so they could stay at work, so they could support their kid. Obviously, we need a better system than that. And by the way, if you talk to any kindergarten teacher in America, they'll tell you that the ability of kids to be able to have access to high-quality early childhood and to child care is critical to their being able to perform well in kindergarten. We gave our kids today a double whammy, you know, this moral obscenity, as my colleague Cory Booker said, because it's not like we're actually fixing their schools. We haven't done that yet. We gave them a chance to get out of poverty, and now we've taken that away, and without the kind of child care that you're talking about. We've made it hard to be a poor kid in America, much harder than it should be, and it's much harder to be a poor kid here than it is in a lot of other countries in the world these days. I know people find that hard to believe, but it's sad but true.